We've been working on facial features separately. Today, we're gonna paint a face. Let's do this. Manriquez from Drop That Brush, and I want to help people who are non-artists become artists. Like, subscribe, and ring that bell. No, seriously, ring that bell. Thank you. There you go. If you'd like to paint with me, sign on my Facebook page, Drop That Brush, and you can get the picture and the drawing set up so you can then paint along with me. Everything's all set up, everything's done, now I'm painting. But there's steps, but even get ready for that. And I want to walk you through the steps so you really have a good understanding of how I would start getting prepared for a picture, painting. So we're gonna walk you through the steps of what you need to do to be prepared to do a painting. Just grab your brush, grab your paint, and go for it. Doesn't always work that well. So I really encourage you to look at these steps. First thing, I got a picture. First thing I do is I go into an app called Notarizer. I have a video on it above, and I will then determine whether it's an appropriate thing to paint. There are many, many things that a beginner should not paint because the values suck. There is, kind of flat. And so it's much easier if you can find things that have lights and darks. And what you're looking for, basically, is that things will go from one side to the other. So if you see this picture, I put this on the Notarizer app, and what it does, it shows me, here's the darks, here's the lights. If that shows it looks like a person, then it's probably a good thing to paint. Then I go to the second set, which is either 3 or 4 levels. So I know where the lightest light to the darkest darks. And I actually paint off of that page. I'll take a picture of it, and then I will paint off of that because that tells me where there's soft edges. It lets me know all kinds of stuff. So that's my first step, because you know what? The rest doesn't work. Why spend your time drawing, doing all this, if it's not an appropriate painting or something that would be difficult to paint? So I start there. Next thing, copyright. Did you take that picture, or did somebody else take that picture? Here I am, I'm out here and about, and I will see pictures that are amazing. And sometimes I just do a screenshot. And I happen to know who she was. This woman is a daughter of a friend of mine, and I didn't want to take it without her permission. So I went on Facebook, and I said, hey, can I paint this? She just is a beautiful person, and she's got these big, beautiful eyes. She's like, sure. Most of the time, if it's just a regular person, they don't care. Of course, if they are somebody who makes money off of pictures, that's a different story. But I keep that, I have that printed out. I know that I have her permission to paint it. Pretty simple. Easiest way is if you have pictures yourself, but if you have friends that have wonderful pictures, it's nice to do it in writing just so you know, and so nobody doesn't forget that, yeah, you did ask for permission. Let's talk about drawing, tracing. Problem with drawing is you have to be a pretty good drawer. It will look strange. Trust me, I know, I've done a lot of strange things. What I do is I trace it, but see, tracing doesn't really work either. So I've got the basic shapes, but Sometimes, frequently, you can't see everything. So then I have to go back and do some more drawing onto what I've traced. So it's a whole process to get this. Another thing I want to mention about is pencil lines. People really forget about pencil lines. I don't care. To me, it's part of the artwork. And if you are a beginner, I really suggest you put it in reasonably dark. Yes, you're right, it may show. But when you step back more than 2 feet away, you don't see it, unless it's really, really dark. I put mine pretty dark because I like to know where to go. I'm not somebody who can magically, I watch some of these people and they can just like know where things go. No, I need to have lines I can see. I really encourage you to make lines that you can see and you know what's going on. What am I tracing? Do I just do the eyes, the nose? Do you know what? Yes, but more important than the eyes, the nose, the lips, I'm looking for the lights and the darks. That's the biggest thing I care about. I need those lights and darks, and I use that nut eraser to be able to determine where the first lights and darks are. No, if this value and this value happen to be the same value, I put right on through. And you're gonna watch that during the demo. But knowing the darks and lights and paying attention to that at the beginning of your picture, huge big deal. And it will make your pictures look more realistic. So, okay, great. I got a picture, I've drawn it, I'm ready. No, you're not done yet. You gotta make sure that you only use 4 to about 6 colors because you wanna have color harmony, which means that everything kind of works together. And so, there should know which colors that you're gonna use so that it will make it more harmonious and beautiful. All of these things need to be done before you actually paint. I know, it really sucks, but it does make a difference and you're much more likely to have a successful painting. Here's what happens very often is if you people who skip all those parts because we're excited about getting that paint, they're ready, man. They don't do well. This makes you to be much more succeed in your paintings. Those paints flowing. I'm excited. Here we go. Now, number 1, the bigger the brush, the easier it is. So I'm gonna go down to a 8 Neptune Quill brush. It'll be on the list. I'm looking at this and what do I have to keep white? The highlights of the eyes. Light it here, here, here. I would like to keep this white temporarily, which is the jewelry. I know that this side of the face is dark. So I'm probably put a little color here and here, and a little color here, probably blue, greens, a little purple, just kind of mellow. Just putting some color in, and I'll make sure I use some of those colors in the face also. Other thing I need to try to keep is this line and this line. Now, some people have to do Misket. I hate Misket. I ain't gonna do it. If I mess up, I will just got my little paper and I will just tap, tap, tap if I blew it. And that happens. It's not a big deal. I'm gonna put some color in the hair, maybe yellow, maybe, a little brown, even though I know that she's got dark hair, but I'm gonna start so there's a little color base. All right, let's get some color. This will be my first wash. I know that I'm gonna put some color here. I'm just gonna add lots of water because that's gonna be a background. And of course, I almost always put a little of that in. Okay. So now I have color, but now I gotta go back. Ooh, I got color. That's okay. Don't hurt a thing. And I don't know if you can see, but I missed some areas, so this is a good thing that I did this again. Clean up my And it's okay, you can see it's rolling a little bit. It's not a big deal. I'm not gonna get too worried about it. I still went past that. Every time, okay, I'm pretty sure I will not be able to get that done because I can't even do it when I'm trying. And if I totally miss it, it is not the big deal. Why is it a big deal? Because I'm just going to tap it out if I blow it. They have color on it, which isn't hurting a thing. All right, it's very loose. I know I want a little color here, just color. They're not anything important. And if it goes into the hair, that's okay. I'm gonna just let it go. And I'm actually gonna do just a little color. Oh, you know, in class they go, oh, I'm not really worried about it because it doesn't hurt anything. So, now I know one side's gonna be a little dark, so I'm gonna get a really light. And I'm just gonna kind of do this, and I'm gonna actually maybe move it. Didn't hurt anything. And maybe I'll push that into the hair. That won't hurt anything either. Go right on through, except for those, you know, and I really don't mind if I'm just gonna make sure that I recognize that, oh yeah, that is, and you can see it's very juicy, very wet. I am not playing around. I just try to avoid that. Okay, ooh, I'm so happy. I did good. Yay! All right. Now, let's see here. Now, we know that there was, so I missed that. Yay, I'm so happy. I didn't think I would make it. I just do things like that all the time. All right, now. Kind of didn't miss this, but that's okay. So I'm just gonna go right in and do a little tapping. If I miss it, it's okay. I'm not gonna hurt anything. Now, see this color that I'm using? I'm gonna throw some here too. There's a couple of places, and I'm just gonna throw them in. Ooh, that looked interesting. That was not quite what I meant to do, but okay. So let's throw some color here. Because there are little areas where there are, okay, now, I'm mucking. All right, see right now, I shouldn't have gotten back up. I should stay and come straight down to a fine wash. See, I shouldn't, it's wet enough, it didn't seem to do anything, but my goal is not to do that. So just so you know, that's what I call mucking and not a good idea. So let's keep going. Okay, I need to start bringing this on the other side. I got on one side and forgot the other side. Duh. Still never get that right. Okay. Still didn't. Okay, is it cracking you guys up? It's kind of cracking me up. I am funny that way. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna put some of this color here. Same thing, I'm gonna put a little color and I'm just gonna bleed it right on in and don't worry about it. Basically gonna make sure I've got as much as the white that I was supposed to be white is white. Okay, that's white. I'm gonna clean, I don't know if you can see the bottom of this, but if I don't gather this right now, I'm gonna have a huge mess and I'll have a back run. So just, so you can see me, I'm casually kind of moving things around. I can also move it around a little bit. I feel that there isn't any, you know, fun stuff. So let me go ahead and give myself a little. But I really feel that it gives it something. It's not just, you know, one color, Okay, some areas of this are kind of getting drier, so I think I better stop before I get in trouble. Now you can see that I have allowed the background to come into the face, a little in the hair. I have weird little bumps. This is gonna be dark, I'm never gonna care. I kind of miss this area. I was so concerned about making sure that was white. I didn't really get enough color because that's gonna be a dark area, so that has to be fixed. And this is how I would start. It's different colors, a little fun, and just throwing it in there, not worried about if it's perfect or not. I am going to do the same thing one more time. Now, this was a really fun wash. Just threw it in, didn't worry about it. If it's not perfect, that's fine. But now I'm gonna be a little more thoughtful. This is actually what I'm painting off of. I didn't even count that first wash of anything because it's basically, there's no value. So I'm gonna do the first wash all the way through. Then the third wash will be this one. Fourth wash will be that one. So I'm just trying to, so it shows, and I can just follow the lines where they go and it works. It's very easy and I love that. If you keep everything wet, you get this very smooth transition. Let's do the right thing, which is what? Get our colors ready. Now, I'm not worried about the background. Now I've got some color on it, good enough. It's not, there's some mixture and it goes a little in glasses and I can go with that. She has a little darker skin tone. And is that going to be enough to cover the entire face? It's a lot of face. Maybe I need to paint a little more, put a little more color here, because I'm thinking it probably needs to be a bigger. Now, because I'm putting water in it, I'm gonna go ahead and water everything except for things that are white, I hope. You want it to go straight into the hair. Oh, I do like if I could go ahead and leave the eyes alone too. So I'm gonna leave whatever color I have in the eyes, that to just stay that way. This is really my first wash where I am, I'm avoiding things and I'm trying to be a little bit more gentle. I really feel that is a little too much. Man, I'm just gonna really soften that up. Okay, here we go. So, all I'm doing is just putting color on it. And you can see it's very gentle. I'm letting it going into the hairline. I definitely know I need more color here. Missed that one. Coming right through the glasses because they're going to be darker. Now, we're going to actually avoid that, the eyes. Now, I don't want it to be too boring, so let me throw a little color in. Avoiding the eyes, but I'm still going over the glasses. Ooh, look at that. You guys are going, oh my God. It's okay, be happy, add water, problem solved. Something I didn't want to do. But that's okay. It's really juicy, and this is why. So I'm just gonna come through, no big deal. Coming right back through, cleaning it up. I'm gonna bring this on down. Look at how pretty that looks. Ah, so highlights. Ooh, forgot that highlight. All right, so this really is my first wash. I just like that under wash that has a little fun to it. It's a little too red. I think I'd like a little, just a little bit more of. Now, I want you to note, am I being very, very careful to make sure that everything isn't moved? Not really. And And it's okay because, and I can pull it out a little bit if I need to, if I kind of mess up, because I do that, and that's okay too. Because this will be much darker. I was just here kind of drawing out what I'm looking at. So I am seeing this, 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 this are my whites. This, so I'm going to do color here, here, and the entire side. These I will put wet it down, and then here I will go through it. I know that the eye is, except for this piece, everything else will be covered except for this piece. But I do want to make sure that the color that's here, as I go past over here, I could actually go right on through, because this is going to be dark, right? So I don't have to be too persnickety. And this will just soften into the, where you've got that. It's kind of cut out. So I'm just gonna, right here, I'm just gonna do a little softening. And so I have areas, if I want to, I can make it more, less cut out if I want to. I wouldn't mind to go ahead and throw in a little something for the eyes. And I love to start with something soft. And I'm gonna go ahead and let that kind of just go through. I'm avoiding my highlights. But I'm gonna let that blend right on in, won't hurt a thing. And I'm not gonna sweat if it's a little off. I just need to know that it's there. All right, so I'm leaving that alone. I think I'm gonna have some blossoms. It's not the end of my world, no big. Now, I'm gonna get some water. It all dried, man. Don't take long, does it? Okay, that's going to be all white. Okay. This will be white. This is white. And this is white. I just wanted to make sure that I know where it's things are supposed to land. You can see I'm kind of moving and softening as I go. If I've got where I don't really want it, I just shove it back over. I didn't do this, but I'd like to make this more darker. Let the rest of it go. Now I know I've got some blossoms, I've got things going on. It doesn't do anything so bad that it will matter. Let's give it a little beep here in the red. And let's go ahead and soften something. We don't want it to be all hard. This is going to be darker. I don't know, we'll see. I do like this side because this is darker already. I'm going to go flip and just work on this side. And I'm just going to soften a little bit because I don't like having hard edges. This is actually going to kind of just come straight here and won't even see it eventually. So I think I'm just going to throw some color here. So my goal, this and that. And everything else has to be covered. Okay, so this. Everything else is covered again. Here we go. That's a big area. So let me put some water on the areas I don't really want to have stuff on it. All right. So we know that right there's a little white spot. So, and I know that there's going to be probably some kind of, you know, we'll just call it a little brown area. And I'm not real picky because it doesn't have to be perfect. Now this goes straight into the hair, so I'm going to go ahead and let that. We want things to go into the hair, not to just separate it. And then I'm just going to do that. And I'm going to do that, going into the hair. Because we know the hair is dark. And I'm looking at this and I'm not liking how, now it's too red. I changed my mind as I'm going. So I'm going to look at that. Okay. And I want that just to kind of blend in wherever it needs to. Gonna go that way. Okay. I could soften this with put a little water on it so it's not hard. Get to hear how many of you just stop and go, oh my God, it's a mess. Mine always look like this. Good, bad, or ugly, that's how they are. And you know, it's okay. This is the point where you go, oh, it's called the ugly teenage stage. And it always is bad, or at least for me. I don't know, I've got blossoms, and to be honest, I love that. I think that's the coolest thing ever. You know, I like odd things, so it's okay. But I think this is going really well. And I know you're thinking, oh my God, Michelle, you're crazy. But we have to, I hate how hard some of this was, so I'm just gonna come through and kind of soften edges a couple places, like right here. I just want it to go right there. Don't want it to be so hard, so hard. I have this big thing. It's okay. We worry way too much about stuff. This should be fun. Allow yourself to enjoy what's going on. So the next one is I'm going to do this shape right here. Okay? I want to do this shape here, here, yeah, here, and at least this shape. And I will, now I'm going to bring it in here. We're going to do the shape. We're not going to worry about, so we're going to do the shape. So, okay, this is this down here, and it's dark, and I don't want to do that right at the moment. But let's clean this up, and let's put, and just move a little color through here. One more time. I'm gonna put water here. Everything else gets a little color. I'm gonna throw some colors in. I don't want it to be boring. Again, I'm still going right on through. I'm not fighting it. I'm not going, okay, it's got to be this or that. I'm just going, okay, we're going to live with this. Let's see how this works. All right, I shouldn't played with that. And so what I'm gonna do is just kind of scoop this off. I know I'm not quite where I wanna be, but if I go back through, I'll have a mess. I can see it coming as we speak. So I'm not looking and saying, okay, I'm going to just follow the line work. I'm looking at the shapes. How do the shapes work? If I've got the shapes right, the whole thing works. Now this shape comes right here and loops me. This shape goes right here. Okay, and it also, this lighter shape goes right here. Let's take a look-see at the lips. Now, it doesn't really matter what the color it is. And at this point, I also don't care if it is correct color. I'm looking for a shape. I'm going to try to get this shape in, is this. Someplace over there. See, and we're not actually sure what happens. It just kind of goes off. But let's get a shape in. This will probably be softened out with time, but for right now. Now, because I know that this is going to be softening kind of out here, I'm just going to put some water on there. So even though I'm going to paint it, I allow it to kind of do its own thing. Do I like that or I hate that? I don't know. I have to think about it. Maybe a little too pinky, or not pinky enough. I don't know. I'll think about it. You know, we can change the color up as we're going. We can have, because we know that here it'll get darker, right? So again, I'm trying to have a spot that I allow the lip just to go. Stop playing. See, you can see when I'm playing. Can you guys watch this? It's like, okay, so what do? I did that weird thing. Well, the reality is you need to leave it alone. Like it or not, leave it alone. And so that's what I'm gonna do. Not happy about it, but I'm just gonna leave it there. It will come back. Once it's dried, I can come back through and do a little bit of I'm looking at this shape. Let me show you the shape again. See this shape right here? I want to not have hard edges between that. As I'm doing it, I am literally going to paint through, except for this little edge, and maybe one little edge. Other than that, it's going to be painted through. So let's do a little of the eyes. We're just gonna be gentle. I don't want it done right this second. I'm just kind of getting an idea. I'm looking at the eyes, and there's a shape here. And maybe just doing a little outline of thinking about what I actually want. That's a very dark shape that goes straight into the glasses. So I can actually shove that right into the glasses, which is kind of cool. So I'm looking at this shape right here, and this shape goes straight into the glasses. We know that there's always a little blue in that, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and throw. Did it come out okay? Or part of it you liked? You know, when you're starting to be people, you have to be kind to yourself. Sometimes they look kind of funky. Mine always look ugly in the middle, which is lovely, I know. I think, oh my God, I hate it so bad. But I keep working on it, and then magically towards the end, it all comes together. And I wish I could explain how that happens. It just kind of happens. But there's a point of all pictures where I am just think I'm going to tear it up. But you learn by finishing the picture, saying, okay, yeah, that eye is totally wrong. And that's okay. Nothing to get excited about. It's a piece of paper, it's something fun. You say, what I want you to do is I want you to look at what you did and say, what did you like? I guarantee there'll be something you did, the lips good or the nose good. There will be something you liked that you thought, oh, that looked pretty good. Or that nose, that face shape looks right. You know, you gotta look at what you can do. There will always be things you can pick apart. Every picture I paint, I can find a million things that are wrong. But I want you to focus on what you did good and congratulate yourself so that you did this pretty good. This is part of the process. Don't expect to have it come out perfect. It may not even come out good at all. Try it again. Try another picture. But you know what? If you practice, if you're kind to yourself, you can do this. I love people, and this is a blast. So, you know, as you're painting and you're going, I don't know what I was doing, man. Okay, I'm just gonna add more paint. That'll fix it. No. Stop. Drop the brush. So if you finish this, there is on my Facebook page, Drop That Brush, there is the picture and the drawing. So please print that out and follow along. Send it to me on my Facebook page if you painted it, or even another one. I don't care. I just love seeing people's artwork. It's so much fun. So put it on my Facebook page, email me. I am thrilled. I just want people to enjoy what they're doing. Like, subscribe, and ring that bell. You have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next week. Bye.